The LA Chargers just got a trio of good news. I think I actually have four things that are really good for the Chargers heading into this Chiefs game. If you're new to the channel, we are Detroit Lions fans, but we have this channel all about the Chargers. Long story how that happened, but you got kind of get an outsider's perspective into your team. Okay, here's what you did. And by the way, let me know. I mean, I got to know, right? Like that Lions game, would you have gone for it there on fourth down to bleed the clock all the way down and then kick the game winner, or would you have just kicked it with 43 seconds to go? Let me know in the comments. Just like, I would love to know I give you my thoughts on the Chargers. Love to know your thoughts on the Lions, and what you saw against the Packers on Thursday Night Football. Okay, good news number one. You get Chenault Jr., wide receiver, former second round pick, and you're like, Chenault, that sounds familiar. At least that's what I was thinking. And it's like, wait a second. He's a former second round pick. He comes in. He's been kind of traded. He's worked with different teams. He's played games. Take a look at this. This dude is a yards after catch just animal. And I'm going to kind of pause this a little bit. I don't want to get a copyright or anything, but look at this. Break one tackle, breaks another. He's just like an elite after the catch guy. And I'm sorry I'm not showing you everything because it's, like I said, I just want to kind of breeze through this, but just, I mean, okay. You're like, well, that was good. Here he is in a punt or a kick return. Just an animal. So that's good news number one. You find a guy that, man, there's receivers. It's hard to find receivers that are impact players, and you got one just in the middle of the season. The Seahawks let go of him. You're like, all right, we'll pick you up. And the reason I say that this is big is because the Lions are decimated on defense. And they keep bringing guys in off the street, and they shockingly keep playing well. So these in-season moves are actually something to keep an eye on. They really are. I didn't think they never used to be, I guess, or maybe we weren't paying attention. But now you're just like, all right, this guy, again, are they going to win you the Super Bowl? No, but are they important pieces that's like, I got to keep an eye on this. And so we know about Ladd McConkey's injury. DJ Chark just isn't being used for whatever reason. So now you've got an opportunity to see what Chenault can do. Next good news, and this is just a bonus, and you've heard this by now, but I just think it's too good not to talk about really quick. Jim Harbaugh, either he rejected the Bears or the Bears rejected him. We don't know the full story. Doesn't matter. In any case, he ends up with the Chargers. Your franchise has changed overnight. So what's the good news in that? It's like, yeah, he could be with the Bears right now, and you could have who knows what. Because again, Lions, Chargers, very similar. We've had bad coaches in the past. There's no identity. It's just you're just out there playing football versus that team that comes together throughout the week. Post game, you can just tell, like, yeah, this is like a football team versus, oh yeah, we play at Sunday at 1 p.m. See everybody there, and everybody just kind of like drives in, and then you play together. You know what I mean? Like, so Jim Harbaugh, love it. Okay, next good news is Ladd McConkey is actually practicing a little bit. So he is injured his knee in the first half of a 100-yard first half against the Atlanta Falcons, did not return to the game. And it's like, boy, Ladd McConkey, and whether he expects to play in KC, shoot, if I can play, I'm going to play. At the end of the day, I'm going to do whatever I need to get out there. So we had limited practice. Says, if I can go, I'm going. And, we've just kind of gotten good at like reading the tea leaves on this type of stuff. If he can play, if he couldn't play, he would, I don't know if he would say it, but if he was just out for a couple weeks, you'd know it. Jim Harbaugh would say it. Ladd McConkey wouldn't even be talked to by the media. It's like he's out for a couple weeks, but no one's shutting it down. So that's good news because, man, he is a reliable dude that you've got to have at this point. So that's good news number 3. Lad McConkey is somebody that you could maybe okay. All right, let's see it. Another one is another good news, Nate. You don't bank on this and you don't really put much stock into it, but when your opponent has some injuries. So receiver Hartman suffered an injury in practice. This is the Chiefs wide receiver, McCole Hartman. He suffered an injury in practice that might put his status in jeopardy. Hartman is one piece of the puzzle for the Chiefs passing game that has swapped a few names this year. Rashee Rice, we know about that. He can't get on the same page with his rookie burner. Can't think of his name. Let me know. Help me in the comments. The Chiefs guy. I can't think of his name. But so they could be shorthanded with receivers. So you've got yourself shorthanded. I get it. With receiver, Chiefs could be shorthanded. But you know what? Bigger picture wise, and this is where Jim Harbaugh thrives, is against he's already exceeded expectations, or maybe lived up to expectations. It doesn't matter. Either one's fine. But one of the things that he does is, man, he does not back down from these teams. Remember when he went to the Niners, the Seahawks were the team to beat. Well, no. Let me go back. When he was at Stanford, USC, remember they were a juggernaut. Stanford and the juggernaut of USC beat them. Unbelievable, right? Just physically beat them up. I was like, what is going on? Then he goes to the Niners. Seahawks are the team, or, they're just, he goes to the Niners and just, I don't even know if the Seahawks were the team at that point. It doesn't matter. It was like, it didn't matter who was in their way. Then he goes to Michigan. Ohio State is a juggernaut and immediately is playing games down to the wire with them. Can't get it done. And then finally Urban Meyer gets out of the way and just steamrolls Ryan Day for 3 straight years. Michigan wins again this year, of course. So I say that to say, when they go against the Chiefs, not afraid, loves it, embraces it, wants it, looking forward to it, can't wait. Like, that's the mentality I was just talking about with these head coaches, Jim Harbaugh, Dan Campbell, because even Andy Reid, he's a great coach, clearly, but I put him in a different category. The Harbaugh brothers, Tomlin, Dan Campbell's actually in another separate category. We have not seen anything like him even, but those guys, take any of them, because it's a mentality, it's a physicality, the whole thing, right? We know it by now. Been said a million times, but Andy Reid is like more up here, genius. He's got Patrick Mahomes. That's really nice to have. But you've got one of the very few coaches that are so good in this league. So you got a new player that I like. Lad McConkey might play. They got a guy that might not. Jim Harbaugh's not afraid of anything. Jim Harbaugh could have gone to the Bears, but just didn't work out. Now he's with the Chargers. Perfect. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.